Hello and welcome to my thoughts on everything. The topic for today's discussion is, if all humans disappeared from Earth, imagine a world where overnight, every single human vanishes without a trace. No more bustling cities, no more cars on highways, no more lights flickering on at dusk. The Earth, left to its own devices, would undergo a series of profound transformations. Below, we explore the timeline of events that would unfold in a human-less world, drawing on scientific theories, ecological knowledge, and historical patterns. Immediate aftermath. The first few days. In the initial days following humanity's disappearance, most human-driven processes would grind to a halt. Electrical grids, dependent on human monitoring and maintenance, would start to fail. Power plants, including nuclear, coal, and hydroelectric facilities, would cease operations as safety systems shut down. The world would slowly plunge into darkness, with city lights flickering off. Public transportation. Planes would crash as pilots vanish, ships would drift aimlessly, and cars would lie abandoned on roads. Trains, automated or otherwise, would eventually derail or stop completely. Weeks to months. Nature begins to reclaim. Within weeks, without human maintenance, subway systems in cities like New York and Tokyo would flood due to stopped pumps. Water treatment facilities would fail, contaminating rivers and lakes with untreated sewage. Domesticated animals such as pets and livestock would either struggle to survive or quickly revert to a feral state. Buildings and infrastructure. Without constant upkeep, buildings would start to deteriorate. Roads and bridges, especially in areas prone to harsh weather, would crack and crumble as vegetation takes root. Wildlife resurgence. The absence of human activity would be a boon for wildlife. Cities would see an influx of animals such as deer, foxes, and even large predators like wolves and bears, reclaiming urban landscapes. Endangered species, once pushed to the brink by poaching and habitat destruction, would begin to thrive again. 1 to 10 years. Ecosystem shifts. As years go by, the world would undergo significant ecological changes. Air quality would improve dramatically as industrial emissions cease. CO2 levels would initially decrease, leading to a slight cooling effect on the planet. The recovery of ecosystems would bring back balance in regions once heavily altered by agriculture and urban sprawl. Vegetation growth. Trees and plants would flourish, reclaiming cities and agricultural land. Roofs would collapse under the weight of unchecked vegetation, and roads would crack and crumble as roots push through. Wildlife dynamics. Predator-prey dynamics would shift, with populations of herbivores like deer and rabbits initially booming due to reduced hunting pressures, only to be checked later by rebounding predator populations. 100 to 500 years. Fading of human legacy. After centuries, the remnants of human civilization would be barely recognizable. Most buildings would have collapsed, buried under layers of soil, plants, and debris. Only the most robust structures, like stone monuments and certain metal objects, would remain. Climate impact. While industrial emissions would cease, the long-term effects of past pollution would linger. However, the Earth's systems would gradually recover, with forests expanding and reforestation sequestering carbon over time. Cultural artifacts. Icons like the Eiffel Tower, the Great Wall of China, and Mount Rushmore would deteriorate but might still stand as silent witnesses to a bygone era. However, most human-made structures would be heavily corroded or overgrown. 10,000 plus years. Geological time frame. In a timescale of millennia, the Earth would have almost no visible trace of humanity. Rivers would carve new paths, and glaciers might advance or retreat, depending on Earth's climatic cycles. The last evidence of human existence might be plastic remnants buried deep in sediment layers, some radioactive isotopes, and perhaps a few scattered satellites orbiting the planet. That's all for today. We'll talk on another topic in the next upcoming video. Stay tuned and keep supporting us. Thank you.